What up, y'all? It's Mike and Loaded Podcast. I'm your host, Jew. That's my boy K Dub on the top and my boy King Pob, and we're gonna be your three hosts for this podcast. Now, before we get started, our first topic. There's been a lot going on during the off season, and we want to kind of figure things out and see who the biggest winners of free agency are. Now, personally, I think the Rockets. Now, initially, off camera, me and K Dub had this conversation, and I didn't really have high hopes for the Rockets, but I want to say that gaining Kevin Durant in a record breaking 7-team trade might
hmm
be really, really good for them. But
hmm
we want to see what you guys think.
So my name is King Pop, as he already stated. Um, I'm a Nets fan, as you can see. Brooklyn Nets, we in the building. So I'm a little biased, a little bit. We ain't going much right now. 'Cause I don't know what we're really doing, but um, to answer the question, I agree with the host, my boy Julian, that the Rockets are the biggest free agent winners because not only did they trade it for Kevin Durant, but they kept their core intact, right? So like the let me see, like they signed Steven Adams, who is a great rebounder and a great enforcer down in the block, down in the paint. A pick setter, which is important, very important for guys that like to drive and kick and shoot threes.
Right. And
Um,
let's not forget a great veteran for
a
their new
great
and
veteran
upcoming center,
presence,
Sengun. He could
absolutely,
definitely
and
learn a thing or two from him.
he's been a great veteran his whole. He had that aura of a veteran since he got into the league. Um, so as well as um, excuse me, signing. Hold up. And these deals that I'm about to talk about in the re-signing deals are like not too. We signed Steven Adams to a 3-year extension. Then they signed Aaron Holiday to a new deal. Jeff Green, who is another key veteran in this league, very important that you have more than one veteran in the locker room. Leadership, that's very important for a young squad like the Rockets. Um, then you got Fred Van Vliet, who is a champion with the Toronto Raptors. You know what I mean? So a two year extension. So those deals right there are three and less. So the Rockets didn't have to come out of pocket so much. You know what I'm saying? Um, the key additions, obviously Kevin Durant, and my addition, DFS. They're Dorian Finney-Smith, because he is one of the top 3 and D guys in the NBA today.
Yeah, it
Um,
definitely. I also want to add, it definitely seems like the Rockets have kind of switched pace from a really young core. It seemed like they were
mhm,
almost kind of building around that young core, or rebuilding, I should say. And these new signings uh, in Steven Adams and KD, it seems like they're trying to get some veteran talent and some people with rings on their team to kind of
mhm,
try and win now, as opposed to
mhm.
waiting for the future. So it definitely seems like a good switch for them.
For them,
Um,
yes, because not every team is equipped like that. Not every front NBA front office rather have that ability or confidence within the team to do that.
right.
So the Houston Rockets are like breaking barriers in that uh like they're um a leap of faith, if you will, or they're not afraid of pulling the plug, or like saying, okay, we done this. We've taken this thing. to this level, but how about we go take it to another level and add pieces like Kevin Durant and Click Capella and DFS. Like, let's see how far we can take this to achieve what the ultimate goal is, and that is the NBA championship. I was telling
Right,
Kenneth the
right,
other
right.
day. I was telling Kenneth earlier. And we'll talk about this a little later, but I think as right now, they should be the favorite for the NBA Finals. That's truly what I
We're
believe.
definitely
For
gonna
real,
have that
for real,
conversation
for real,
in the second half of this
well,
pod for in the second half of this episode for sure. But we want to get a
mm-hmm,
little bit from K Dub too and see what he feels about
mm-hmm,
the offseason because there were a ton of
yeah,
crazy moves
mm-hmm,
during this
mm-hmm,
offseason.
mm-hmm,
Okay. So let me start now. I'm K Dub, by the way. Call me Kenneth. I think you are right that the Rockets did have the biggest. They were the biggest winner of free agency, but with all those
mm-hmm,
signings, re-signing Jabari
mm-hmm,
Smith Jr., who was a part of that young core last year that was in the playoffs,
Very good
that took
signing,
the
yes.
Warriors to Game 7. They
mm-hmm,
signed Kevin Durant, who's an elite player, replaced him pretty much. They upgraded from Jalen Green, but they got
mm-hmm,
a little bit weaker losing Dylan Brooks. But they definitely upgraded with Kevin Durant. He should make up for what Jalen Green could not do in the playoffs.
mm-hmm,
Signing Clint Capella, that really makes that team like stacked.
Yeah, I believe
yeah,
Clint Capella. I think now, for a while, the game was kind of missing. Not to interrupt, but I think the game was missing that center presence, like
mm-hmm,
teams that were being led to finals, to playoffs from their big guys.
mm-hmm,
And I think that that's something that we hadn't really seen since maybe the early 2000s into like the 2010s, maybe like early
Yep.
mm-hmm,
2010, all the way up until like 2012. And I
Right.
think
mm-hmm,
we're starting to see in the league now that the big man is starting to dominate again.
Yeah.
And we see
yeah,
teams like the Rockets who have Clint Capella and Steven Adams and Sengun. We see
Yeah.
Jokic, we see Wembanyama, we see Embiid,
yeah,
and we have these teams, or even Jaren Jackson Jr., who just got this extension. And it seems like they're going to start
overpaid.
building around him as opposed to Ja Morant. Um, but it seems as if a lot of these teams are now shifting back towards relying more on their centers and their power forwards.
Okay,
Valanciunas
and
just went
that's
to the Nuggets to
yeah,
help out Jokic, so that's another big move that we're seeing from these
yeah,
teams to
yeah,
incorporate more centers into their game. And for the past
yeah,
15 years, maybe more, we've seen it. It's been a 3-point game.
mm-hmm,
And that's what the NBA
mm-hmm,
has kind of turned into. So I think it's definitely cool to see the shift in the league.
yeah,
Yeah. And you touched on it, the big man position coming back.
Yeah,
That's also why I believe that the Denver Nuggets, the signing of Jonas Valanciunas, that's also a big deal as well because they're going to need that front court depth to compete with teams like OKC and Houston who have all those big guys.
right.
Jokic can't be out there for 48 minutes per series per game trying to get them a game. Like he's going to gas out at some point. Like these guys are human.
Right.
Like
Especially,
they're
and you get those grueling series, especially playing in Denver with the elevation. But you get
yeah.
into those grueling 7-game series by the conference finals, your guys are kind of beat up and they need a
Yeah.
break.
yeah,
But that
yeah,
elevation shouldn't affect him because he plays there every game. He
Right.
plays there what
Yeah. For the
41
home
home
team, they
games.
should be fine.
Yeah.
Um,
But him, like he's not really known as like being like a rim protector big anyway. So they're
right.
gonna need like a guy like Jonas Valanciunas who can anchor that defense down low and alter shots.
that's why they try to get. That's why they try to build. No, matter of fact, no. I'm about to say that they try to build. They try to get like guys like Marcus Morris or Marquis Morris. So, but that was Luca. That was Luca that they tried to build around him, like
Yeah.
to get tough guys because
Yeah.
he was deemed as
Trying to put
soft in the
a
beginning.
lot of
Right,
enforcers around them. Yeah.
right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. And him, I think him and Marquis, one of the Morris stories themselves was like, don't need that.
Right.
But that was early on in his career though. That was early on, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think a
know.
Right.
lot of times when a team signs a star player that they really want to protect, they're going to sign some enforcers to kind of make sure that
Right.
nobody really
Yeah.
messes with them.
Right.
Um, but I do want to mention also, and again, this is going back. to these teams signing centers. Miles Turner to the Bucks. That's another big guy. They just
Yeah.
extended Bobby Portis as well. And with Giannis on that team, that's a pretty big team. Granted, do I think the Bucks are going to do great? I'm kind of here and there with it. But
I'm I'm
again,
I'm
it
I'm not sold
no.
personally, but yeah, I'm not sold. But
No.
we'll touch down on that like a little bit later on into the
Okay,
show.
yes, yeah. So later on in the episode, for those watching, we're gonna get into uh our our season projections. We'll get to that in a bit. But what I was saying was that Miles Turner going to the Bucks kind of fits and DeAndre Ayton to the Lakers. There were a lot of center signings
Mhm.
this offseason, and it's kind of fitting into almost a theme here that we're seeing
Mhm.
of
The
centers going to
center
teams
coming back
and teams
to
trying to
yeah.
build around them, so to speak,
Right.
or improve their teams by signing them. Now, I
Um.
think now this might be a hot take. You guys will call me out if it is.
mm,
I don't care for the Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets trade.
So
You know
so wait.
what? You know.
Now why explain why you don't care for that? Because I feel like Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. are essentially the same player, but Cam
I
Johnson adds like the element of he might mix it up and drive to the rim and put pressure on that defense.
Right. So the benefit of having Cam Johnson as opposed to Michael Porter Jr. For one, you're not going to get the ball with 2 seconds left on the clock. Um,
Mhm.
Michael Porter Jr. is definitely going to chuck shots, a lot of shots.
Mhm.
Like when he
Mhm.
touched the ball, that's the end of the possession, essentially.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but once he gets the ball, you know that ball is going up. You might as well just box out. Granted, Cam Johnson is also a shooter, but like you said, he can definitely mix it up and get to the rim. Not that Michael Porter Jr. doesn't have that ability, but whether or not he utilizes that is up in the air. And for the Nuggets, at this point where they're trying to win championships, they don't really have room for inconsistency. And
Yeah.
I think, it's fine. Like, let him go to the Nets. He's got the ultimate green light. He can chuck as many shots as he wants. There's nobody there.
Right.
Fine. But again, do I think unless he starts putting up Steph Curry numbers, I don't know that the Nets are gonna do anything with this. I think maybe they might try to build around him, but are we seeing Michael Porter Jr., who was essentially a third or fourth option, moving into the number one option? Do we think that he's gonna benefit from that?
I'd say he's maybe number. I'd say he's probably the second option on that team. I would still go Cam Thomas. He has
Okay,
more
Cam
of
Thomas for sure.
a better shot creation ability and handling
Yeah.
the ball,
Mhm.
playmaking ability as
Right,
well.
right.
I
And
Mhm.
think he's
also
the
more
first
of a
option on that
rapport with
team.
that team. Also
Right,
more of a
Yeah.
rapport with that team. He's
Yeah.
been there for a
right.
while now. He's kind of their
Even
guy.
though, because I'm a Nets fan and I watch the Nets every now and then, not often, but um, I think the Nets are not haven't given him enough minutes to showcase his talent and his ability as a scorer.
Cam
Now,
Thomas?
yeah, Cam Thomas, yeah.
Okay.
I think because I think even when we had KD and then Kyrie and them, his minutes wasn't obviously his minutes wasn't that high because we had Harden, Kyrie, Kevin Durant, even if it
Right.
was for a certain amount of time. But he
He
always
was a
has that
rookie at that
ability.
time too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you get what I'm saying though. He always had that ability of a scorer, point blank period. Um, he I know for sure he had off the bench. He had several times where he scored 30 or 25 or more off the bench. Um, what you call it? Like I said, over time, I think I think the Nets in general, as a coaching staff, don't like depending on who the coach is, don't know how to play their players or play their bench, and that has been becoming a theme as well in the NBA, where coaches are not utilizing their bench, utilizing overusing their star players, and with that comes the fatigue, the the players being tired and injured a lot. When you play someone constantly, um, you're bound to get some type of injury or you're bound to get tired throughout the season because obviously the season is long, 82 games.
Right.
Hmm.
They're playing almost every night, double back to backs, um, back to back to three back to backs a night, or whatever the case may be. but they're always playing. They're always on the road, and that gets tiresome too. They always
Right.
traveling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But
Now
let me
there is
let me
a person that
okay.
I think that we are missing in this trade, Terrence Mann. Now you guys know I'm a
Ooh, oh
Clippers
yeah,
fan, and Terrence Mann was definitely my guy for a while. He's had some really good breakout games. I think this is another situation, him going to this team. If I've got to pick between, you know, Terrence Mann and Michael Porter Jr., I'm probably picking Terrence Mann.
Come on
right.
now.
Uh, but let me just explain. Let me just explain. Again, if Michael Porter Jr. touches the ball, that possession is over with. Terrence Mann has a lot more potential in things like attacking the rim, distributing the ball. Most of his buckets are from the mid range into in the paint.
Right.
And
Terrence Mann. Go
granted,
ahead.
this last season, he didn't really play much. So I mean, with the signing of James Harden, like his playing time is going to go down because he plays the guard position. But I think that he is much healthier for a team, you know what I mean, that is trying to one distribute the ball and get touches to all of their players. I think he is a healthier choice. Do I think he's better skill wise? No. But I think he is essentially a healthier choice for a team if they're looking to win games. I just personally don't feel like Michael Porter Jr. is going to win you games, not on his own.
Well, who? I mean, does Terrence Mann like really help Brooklyn win games? As like
I
put
think
him in the
he's
second option. Are you saying that you prefer Terrence Mann over MPJ as a second option? Is that what you're saying?
no, I mean, I prefer him as a teammate. I think that he's better in a team system regardless of what option he is.
Yeah,
I
because he
think
doesn't need the ball. He's going to get his baskets. He's going to defend at a high level, and he's going to rebound and play defense.
exactly my point, but MPJ is not going to do a lot of those things
He's going to rebound
and
and
shoot
shoot
the
the
ball.
ball. That's what's asked of him.
I understand, but like we could do that. You know what I mean? Maybe not rebound, but we could shoot the ball. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think it's far fetched to. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull up his stats here, and
Terrence Mann, by the way, he was on the Atlanta Hawks last year. He was
he
traded from the Clippers
was
to Atlanta Hawks.
yes, yes, he was
Um,
Mm.
2 seasons
yeah,
So
ago.
he
I'm
he
was.
so
referring
he
to,
so
yeah.
he bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, he's at that point. He was on the Clippers for a
Okay,
long
here it
time, but he's
goes.
at that
Yeah,
point
he
now
was.
where
Yeah, so
he's
he played on the
bouncing from
Clippers
team to
from
team.
2019 until 2025, the 2024-2025 season.
Okay.
Um, his best season, best averages, granted they're not great, but his best averages was in the 2020-2021 season, and he averaged 11 points,
That's not bad. I'll take
11,
that.
2, and 5,
I'll
11, two
take
and a
that.
half, and 5,
What was his
or
what was
10.8. We'll call it what it is. It's 10.8.
what was his
Well,
field goal percentage?
so field goal percent, his free throw percent in that year is 78%.
Hmm. Okay,
Uh,
so he
he
can make
shot
those.
two. He shot two a game
Mm.
on average.
Mm.
His field goal percent was close to 50%. It's 48.4.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Uh, a lot of times we see like people who have really high shooting percentages. Like usually, the guy who has the highest percent at the end of the season is a center
Mhm.
because they have
Yeah,
the most shots right next to the rim, and that's usually probably going to sit around 50-60%.
yeah.
So for a guard to be sitting around like 48,
That's not
49,
bad, right?
50%, because he
And how
has
tall is he?
he has 2 seasons where he's over 51%. And then his season in
Over
Atlanta,
51%,
he's
but averaging how many points per game?
8.8. So
So he's not really getting that many shots
he
to
he's
really
he's not getting that many shots.
uh,
But
put check this out. Put him in a situation where he's getting the same amount of shots as MPJ. He's not shooting 50% from the field.
well, we don't know that though. We've never seen him in an opportunity where he's gonna get that many shots. So it's
He
like
started a few
if
games.
right, but look at Shea when Shea was on the Clippers. Shea was
He
okay when he was on the Clippers. He had potential, but he was okay because he didn't get any really playing time. And as soon as he went to a team where he was the guy, he's an MVP and a champion.
well, I mean, we can't look at Terrence Mann like that. I don't think he's
But what I'm saying is that the situations are similar, and that he was on a team. where he wasn't really getting to play too much. We can pull it up here. I'll pull it up and see how many minutes he was playing uh on the Clippers. Shea wasn't playing much on the Clippers. And I remember telling you, and I know you remember, I'm like, this kid is good. They need to play him more.
Yeah.
And they didn't really play him like that. And as soon as he left and went into a situation where he was able to play, the way he wanted to, he flourished. Um, Let me
Yeah.
see.
All Kentucky picks flourish. I mean, it was. I wouldn't say it was guaranteed that he was supposed to turn into this, but
Okay,
he
look,
for
so
sure was supposed to be a good player coming out of
he
Kentucky.
he averaged literally the same exact thing that Terrence Mann averaged in 2022. In 2018,
Terrence Mann.
2019, he played for the LA Clippers. He averaged 10.8 points.
Okay. How
And
many
he
games?
averaged a little more rebounds and where's his assists? No, I'm lying. He averaged less assists and more rebounds.
Less
He
assists,
played
more
82
rebounds.
games that season.
In 2022, Terrence Mann.
2018, 2019 season. That's when he played for the Clippers. He played for them as a rookie.
SGA. Okay, okay.
He played for them as a rookie. He averaged the same thing as Terrence Mann. So in Terrence Mann's best season is what I'm saying, thus far on the Clippers. So you take a player who's averaging 10.8, and then immediately he goes to OKC where he can shoot the ball, and his average has gone up every single year, except for the 2022-23 season into the 23-24 season. It stayed pretty much the same. He goes from 10.8 points to 19, 23.7, 24.5, 31.5, 30, and 32. Now, 3 years after he leaves the Clippers, he's fifth in MVP voting. What I'm saying is that opportunity is a lot for players. And if you put a player in an opportunity where where he gets a green light and he can shoot the ball and he can do the things that he wants, you never know where that player is going to go. When he signed with the Clippers, nobody thought that he was going to be MVP. Nobody. Not one person besides his parents.
No, yeah, you're right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So what I'm
But
saying
it
is
did
that
take some time for him
it's,
to get there, though.
it took a little time, but it only took 3 years. From the time that he left the Clippers into the time he was averaging 30, it was 3 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was 3 seasons, I should say. And he left the Clippers in 2019. In 2022, he was averaging 30.
He's that. I mean, Kentucky prospects are like that.
I understand. I understand. But what I'm
All of
saying is
them.
that
All of them
Terrence
hit.
Mann is he's a player in a situation who I feel is very talented, and he's not really getting an opportunity to shoot the ball.
That's
Did
and that's
Terrence
how
Mann go to?
and that's
He
Oh, he
went
went
to
to
Florida
Florida
State.
State.
He went to
Okay.
Florida State, yeah.
and that's how I feel about Cam
Well,
Thomas because he averages. Hold on, I'm pulling up his averages just now. He averages 24, 3.3, and 3.8. That's Cam Thomas, right?
Cam
So
Thomas, yeah, is a hell of a player. Hell of a
right,
isolation scorer.
right. Look and check this out. Check this out. I'm gonna read his stats from 2021 all the way to now. His game stats, his gameplay, and all that. He played 67 games in his rookie year. 17 minutes, average 8.5, 3.3. Oh no, wait. He averaged 8 points. Let me see. 8 points, 3 rebounds, and like one assist, 1.2 assists. In his second year, his sophomore year, he played 57 games, averaged 10 points, uh, 10 points with 1.7 rebounds, 1.4 assists. And then his third season, right? His average went up drastically. He played a total of 67 games,
Hmm.
31 minutes, 22.5 points, um, shooting 44% from the field, 44, 36 from three, and then his rebound averages are 3.2, his assist 2.9.
Mm-hmm.
And then this past season, he played 25 games. I believe he was hurt majority of the season, most of the season. But in those 25 games, he averaged 24 points, shooting shooting 43%, 43.8% from the field, 34 from three, and then from his rebound and assists are 3.3 and 3.8. And that's, like I said, 31 minutes in total he played this past season, right? So the same way you feel about Sarah's man is the same way I feel about Cam Thomas on my next team, because, like I said, he's been on the bench obviously for a minute now, and he's just now getting the minutes that he's just now earning the higher minutes. But it's like I was
Well,
reading
granted, they.
something.
Mhm.
Go
No,
ahead,
go
go
ahead, I'm
ahead.
listening. I was gonna say, I think they didn't they just have like D'Angelo Russell.
He did, yeah,
Yeah,
again for
so.
his second stint with the team.
Hmm.
Right.
Which this stint, I don't really know what value he brought per se.
Right.
Like it was just a moment. It was just a moment. Like, oh yeah, he coming back. He coming back to a team where
Hmm.
his career was revived initially. Because
Yeah.
when we first got him, we was booming. We had a solid squad with Karis LeVert, uh, Jared Allen.
Hmm.
Who else was on that team?
Dinwiddie,
Dinwiddie,
Joe
right?
Harris.
Joe Harris to
Yeah.
shoot the. He was a three point contest winner.
Yeah. This past
He
season, Cam Thomas only played 25 games.
yeah,
He
that's
was
what I'm
hurt. He
saying.
was injured. He was
He
injured.
was
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is like the opportunities weren't there per se, or they were there, but the Nets wasn't like,
Right.
they didn't take action to like, yo, let us let us let's develop Cam Thomas. Let's help develop Cam Thomas as a star player for our squad, because he has the ability to score any bucket. He's a bucket. He's a walking
Right.
bucket. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely
So
an excellent isolation scorer for sure.
right,
I think
right,
maybe sometimes these teams is when they're in these droughts, they're not exactly looking for ISO play.
right, right,
I mean, I think he's definitely great at that. But
right.
for you to be a great ISO player in the league now, especially with the current state of the league, you see a lot of teams. Maybe I'm wrong, but when I watch, I don't exactly see. You definitely have stars on the team, but you don't see a lot of guys playing hero ball. You definitely have
Mm,
a few players who's doing it, but it's not something that you're going to see in every single game.
mm,
And I think sometimes teams are, especially in this rebuilding stage, are going to move a little further away from the isolation stuff, the one star kind of basketball.
mm.
And I think now, especially with like in these past few seasons, you've seen all of these super teams. I think now they're more focused on building a team of strong guys as opposed to like just a team that's surrounding one guy. Not
And I
everybody's
don't.
gonna be 2003 LeBron. You know what I mean? He can't be the one guy.
And for me, I don't mind that, because that's that's how you play the game of basketball. It's a team sport. No
Right.
one man can do it by himself except for AI and LeBron James, like you said. But even then, they both needed role players to help
Hmm.
elevate that team to win said championship, or to win, or to go to the NBA Finals. You
Yeah.
can't. Nobody can do it by themselves.
Yeah, he was
That's
he was definitely on pace to have a career year this past season.
who
Cam Thomas.
Cam, yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely on
yeah.
pace to have a career season. If you consider the 25 games he played, he's got his highest career average in points, He's got his highest career average in assists
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you
He
this: does that
also, really quickly,
continue?
he also, I just want to throw this in there too. He also has a career high in turnovers, which is going to
Okay.
That's
come
going to
with,
happen. Yeah.
that's going to happen with having the ball more. Yes. Anyway, you were
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, but does that continue? Would he average those same numbers? Cam Thomas, would he average those same numbers if he was playing on a winning team opposed to a losing one where he has the ultimate green light to just chuck up shots?
Probably.
And
It
Probably.
it probably not, but I do want to
Yeah.
say, just to kind of play the devil's advocate, I do want to say that it depends what that winning team consists of.
Right.
Um, Not
Right.
every winning. I mean, granted, the league is kind of a toss up now. You can win with any kind of combination of players, but
Right.
it
Okay. See,
depends
has
on what
proven
that
that.
winning team needs. If for that winning team he was the designated scorer, which I feel like every team has at least one or two, um, then maybe, he might average, if not just this much, very
Mm-hmm.
close to it. But I think losing basketball, it's essentially uh, more difficult to score this many points when you have the ultimate green light. If you're the only person on the court that they have to guard, I think it maybe makes, clocking in a little harder for you if you're the only person that they're worried about. And especially if you're on a team like the Nets where you can't exactly trust your teammates too much. I'm not saying that that's how Cam Thomas stands with them, but if you feel like you're on a team where you can hand the ball out, and I'll wrap this up because we want to move to the next topic, but if you're on the team where you feel like you can't give the ball out to your teammates, it definitely makes work a little harder for you uh, when you got to clock in every night and beat a guy. But moving on to our next topic, next season projections. We want to consider trades and signings. So
Mhm.
we want to talk about these next teams, but we want to keep in account all of the new players that they've acquired, whoever they've signed, players that they've released, things like that. And then we're going to decide for the East and for the West. Um, so yeah, K Dub, you can
All
go
right.
first.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we talk about the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, they made the finals last year. They're
They
out
might
of
be
it. No
cooked. Yeah,
Halliburton, no Miles Turner. They're out of it next
they're
season.
cooked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boston Celtics pretty much blew up their
GG.
whole team, damn near the whole
GG.
team.
Yeah.
Holiday and
GG.
Porzingis is gone. They didn't even replace Porzingis with a legit big, and they lost Luke Cornett in the offseason to
Yeah.
the San Antonio Spurs.
Who
That's
was
a big
very
loss.
valuable in that playoff series, by the way.
Yeah. So they have no big man right now. So they're out of it as well. So who I believe should be the front runners to come out the East next year is the New York Knicks. I'm not a Knicks fan. I live in New York, but I believe they should be the front runners to come out the East next season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, behind them, I believe the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers have something to
Okay.
say about that, along with the Detroit Pistons. I
Why
believe.
you had to pitch it so low?
I mean, no order.
Okay. Okay.
I just
Okay.
have the Knicks coming out the East,
Okay.
but I think the Pistons, based on what we just seen with Indiana, I think the Pistons are good enough to possibly make a conference finals next year.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
that'll be fun to see for sure.
would you say I'm wrong there? Like,
Mm-mm.
like
I
nobody
no, I
nobody had
think
Indiana going to the conference
definitely.
finals. I
Nah.
did.
Yeah,
Nah.
that's true. I think
I had them winning every
definitely.
series.
I would
Uh,
just
the,
have. I would just have New York, then Detroit. Me
New
personally.
York, then Detroit.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. New
I
York.
I'd say I'd go as far as saying New York is coming out of the East this year and
New
probably going
York.
to the finals.
New York. Detroit. Then Orlando.
I come on, we can't New York, Detroit, then Orlando. I would say Cleveland is still better,
Oh, you know
slightly
what?
better
You're
than
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Orlando.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But also
Let
like
me.
And they
Orlando.
added Lonzo Ball to that team too. Now, depending on how he performs, that's another story. But I
Right.
think Cavaliers still got their core intact. They should still.
My
This
thing
is
is
this is
though.
their year to come out the East as well. If it ain't
It
the
is
Knicks, it has to be the
Mhm,
Cavaliers.
right. Okay.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has to be the Cavaliers.
I agree.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're
Jalen
right. You're
I
right.
feel
Brunson
like those are the only two
is
teams that should stop one another from headlining
a finals.
a
Yeah,
finals.
for sure. I think Jalen Brunson has grown so much in that time from being on the Mavericks into being like the number one option on the Knicks. And a
Right.
lot of credit to Cat and Anunoby and all of those guys who are also playing very well. Josh Hart, um,
Mm-hmm.
even
Who's like
campaigned with
that?
some big shots in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
Jalen
they
Brunson
just.
has really become that guy, and
Mm-hmm.
he was having 40 damn near every game
Mm-hmm.
in the playoffs, so to speak. He was twisting his ankle. He'd go back to the locker room, put a new ankle on, and come back and finish the game with 37, 10, and 10. Or
Type
10 and
shit.
3.
Right.
Let me not say 10 and 10. I'm wilding. But
Hmm.
it's impressive to see somebody, especially with his stature, doing so much in the league. And it's tough. It's not like he's only shooting. He's going to the paint amongst the trees, and he's putting those shots
Right.
up, and he's drawing those fouls, and he's finishing them.
Right.
But they're definitely. They just got Shake Milton. They just got Bogdanovich, who's an excellent player. He's a really, really good veteran.
Right.
I think he'll definitely. The Knicks have some young players.
Wait. Hold on. The Knicks got Bogdanovich
Yeah.
from the Clippers last year.
No, no, no. They got him from the Pistons.
Bogdanovich from the Pistons.
Yeah, they got
Wait,
uh
which Bogdanovich? You know, there was Bogdanovich just retired, the one that was traded from the
oh,
Cal
right.
Bridges.
Right. I'm reading the wrong
So
thing here. I'm sorry about
yeah,
that.
yeah. So yeah,
But
he's
but but
Bogdanovich
but
is still.
but but however they did the Knicks uh had just picked up two key additions though. Jordan Clarkson and the dude from Philly.
And Jordan
From
Clarkson, yeah. And
The
Jordan
dude from
Jordan
Yabusele.
Yabusele. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yabusele,
Yabusele.
those are
right.
two
I think
great
Two
pickups.
great
yeah.
pickups. Great pickups.
Jordan Clarkson, I think, is going to be really good. I think he's going to kind of fill that void where they wanted campaign to kind of fill during the regular season.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we see campaign get into these really, really hot streaks, and then he's got these really, really cold streaks, and there's like
Posters. Right.
inconsistencies there. And
Right.
Former
there's
six man of
definitely
the
some,
year, Jordan Clarkson.
yeah. So, especially coming off of our bench, I mean, now we have a coach who's going to play the bench.
Yeah, I'm about to
But
say these wouldn't be two great signings if you still had Tom Thibodeau there.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
these wouldn't
Um,
be two great signings if you had Thibodeau there still.
yeah,
Okay,
so now that we have a coach that's going to play the bench, these are going to be really, really good signings for us. I think also Yabusele, there's a young guy on the Knicks whose name I can't remember. I think he plays power forward. He wears the headband. He's got the braids. I was just talking to you about him. Um,
Precious Achua?
Achua.
No. Oh,
Yes,
is it
Achua.
Achua?
Yeah.
Is he still in
So
the Knicks? I thought he's a free agent still.
I
I
thought they
think he's
signed him again, didn't they?
no. I think he's still. I think Precious Achua is still a free agent right now.
Oh yeah. You look at his name.
Yeah,
It's a Nigerian basketball player.
yeah, he's still a free agent. They've only signed Clarkson and Yabusele to two. They signed Yabusele to a 2 year deal.
So
It
maybe
has a
that's his
player
out.
option.
What I was gonna say was that Yabusele can kind of guide him into being, you know what
Right.
I mean? Granted, I mean he's probably not signing there, but
But I see somebody say that the signing what is the name again? I don't want to butcher it.
Yabusele?
Yabusele, that the signing of him is key because of his skills and how he rebounds and how he can fit the team well, and he's not injury prone and he's like his uh activity and the rebounds and in the game is like his
mhm.
IQ for the game is like elite almost
Yeah,
Yeah, high
for
motor
his
guy, high
yeah,
high
energy.
very
motor,
high
right,
IQ.
Yeah.
high
Yeah,
energy, right. For
he
that
just
team,
averaged
for
11
that,
and 5. Um,
Not
right.
only that, I mean, he played on France. He was going head up with the American team.
yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, this is a good pickup for the
Yabusele is a
Knicks. I
good
think
pickup.
the Knicks are gonna really benefit from having this guy
Right,
Yeah.
right.
on their team. You know, he's tough. He's very no nonsense, very straightforward with his game. And I think that they're gonna benefit with that a lot, especially Cat. I think he
Oh
definitely
yeah,
needed a bit of help. You know, Mitchell
yeah.
Robinson is very good on the defensive end, very
But he
good
injury
rebounder.
prone,
He's
injury
got
prone.
he injury prone, but he's also got to hit those free throws, and that's something that he struggled
Yeah.
with a lot in the playoffs, and something that I think set the Knicks back quite a
So
bit.
let me ask you this: what do you think happened with Mitchell Robinson?
I think he stays
He's
on the
still gonna come off
team.
the
Yeah,
bench.
he's probably still going to come off of the bench behind Cat,
Hmm.
but they probably have either. Yabusele is probably gonna start.
No, no, absolutely
Who's the
not.
starting power forward?
They play like a small ball lineup. They have Bridges and OG starting at the
Oh,
forward
right, right, right,
spots,
right, right, right.
and or no, I'm sorry. They probably have Bridges starting at the two, and I think Hart plays one of the forward spots.
Yeah, he
Josh
does.
Hart.
Yep, you are right. I mean, he's
Yeah. So
averaging a million rebounds a game. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's
so
no reason that
he
he
plays one
shouldn't.
of the forward spots.
Um, Let me see. Let me pull up the roster real quick.
Yeah. But I think the Detroit Pistons, I think you cannot sleep on them either.
Okay,
Like they got
so
1 year of experience. They should be back with a
yeah, I also want to
Wonderful.
give some flowers to Miles McBride. Deuce
okay. They
McBride.
Yeah.
still got Deuce McBride too. See,
Yeah,
they have a decent bench now with these two new additions to that team.
they do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the lineup now, or the roster now, is Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson, Cat, Anunoby, Brunson, Bridges, Josh Hart, Mitch Robinson, Deuce McBride, and then three players that are probably not going to play. Tyler Kolek, Ariel Hukporti, and Pacome Diet. I might be saying that wrong.
Is that a rookie?
Um, yes, three
Oh,
rookies.
Okay.
Um, they're probably, although this shooting guard that they drafted, Pacome Diet. I'm probably saying that wrong, but he was a first round pick actually. So maybe we'll get something out of him.
okay.
On the
First
cap
round pick.
hold, huh?
First round pick.
He was a first round pick. He was probably late first
Okay.
round, but he
Okay.
was in the first round.
Okay.
We're probably not signing Precious Achua or PJ Tucker. I don't think they're signing him again.
Well, PJ
Um,
Tucker didn't really play anyway.
yeah,
Didn't he
I mean,
He
retire? He didn't
didn't
retire
really.
yet?
I don't
Not
think so.
officially. No, I
I
don't think
haven't
so.
heard
Okay.
anything of it.
But
Landry
either way, he
Shamet,
didn't.
who's coming
Landry is
off of
still on
an
the team.
injury this past year. Yeah, he's injured.
Wow.
He had, I think, a shoulder.
He would have been a nice 3 point addition.
Yeah, so I think that's cool, but they definitely are trying to fill that. It seems like with Jordan Clarkson is what I'm getting at.
Right. Okay.
Jordan
Okay.
Clarkson
Yeah.
is definitely going to give some pressure off of the bench and
Mm-hmm.
some good 3 point shots.
Because he can't create his own basket.
Yeah, he's definitely a really good player. We saw a lot of that when he was on the Jazz,
Yeah.
um,
Even
and he
on
was really
even
kind
on the
of
Lakers.
yeah. So when definitely still really young on the Lakers, but
Yeah.
again, like going
Yeah.
back to people having opportunities.
Yeah. Yep.
When he
Yep.
went to the Jazz and was able to kind of shoot the ball a little bit more, we kind of
Mm-hmm.
really
He
saw
had
him
the
become a
he had the
player
green light. He had the
Shoot the
green
ball
light just
more.
like
on the
He
Jazz.
he shot the ball more in the Jazz than he did the Lakers. The Lakers, he was a starter.
I thought he came over the
At one
bench.
point, he became a starter. I feel like he was coming off the bench, but then he was also starting as well. I think he was
Let me
just
see.
more like I don't know. He probably did take a little bit more shots on the Jazz, but he played next to Donovan Mitchell and he was backing him up.
Right,
okay,
that is
okay,
true.
that is
That
Let me
true.
seemed
see.
like ages
I'll pull
ago
it up
now.
now. Okay, so on the Lakers, he finished seventh in the Rookie of the Year thing. In his first year, he averaged 12. He continued
How
to
many
grow.
minutes per game did he play?
He played 25 minutes.
Let's say his last 2 years in LA. How many minutes did he play?
His last 2 years in LA. Well, okay, so his last 2 years were 2016, 2017, and 2017, 2018. And in the 2017-2018 season, he got traded to Cleveland.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay,
It
so
wasn't the
let's
Jazz.
we'll do 2015, 2016, and 2016, 2017. Those are the two last full seasons he had on the Lakers. He played on the 2016, 2017 season, he played 82 games. He shot 13 shots a game.
Okay.
That's the average.
So he went, yeah.
He averaged 14. So essentially like a little more than 1 point per shot. Um, Now, when he gets to Cleveland,
Let's just say when he gets to Utah.
okay, let's go Utah. Okay, so in Utah, he's definitely shooting the ball a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, he's shooting 12.9 shots as his first year in Utah, but he averaged 15 and a half.
See
Uh,
that 15 points looks a lot better on a winning team than it did in LA on a losing team that wasn't playing for nothing.
right.
But he still
So
took you say he took about what, a one shot difference?
a little bit less, a little bit less. So he was
Okay.
getting more points per shot. So he was shooting about 13 shots. He was averaging about 15. Um, Here he's taking like a little under 13 shots. He's averaging 15. He's getting a little bit more than 1 point per shot. Now, the next 3 seasons, or the next 4 seasons that he played for Utah, he averaged 15.8 shots, 14.1, 16.9 in 22-23. That was his career high year. He averaged 20. Uh, then he shot 14.8 shots and 13.3. So essentially, besides his first year in Utah, every year after that, he shot more shots on average than he did on any other team,
Okay.
with the
All right.
exception of Cleveland. 1 year, he shot 14.6 shots a game.
Okay.
He played 81 games, though. And his
81.
averages went up. He had a career year
So
in 21-22. He averaged 20.8. He won
Clarkson?
six man of the year, and then in 2021 he won six man of the year,
um,
and then in 2022 he was top five. Well, he was
Mhm.
number four, but he was in the top five for six man of the
Wait,
year.
did you say the year Clarkson won the six man, he averaged 20 points?
No, he averaged 18.4. He averaged 20.
18.4.
He
Okay.
averaged 20 points 2 years later.
Okay. That might have been when Donovan Mitchell was already left the team, right?
22,
21,
20.
20,
That was
22,
22.
23.
Yeah, that's when he averaged 20.
Yeah, Don was already in. He was already in Cleveland by that
Right.
point.
Yeah. So he was definitely had the ultimate green light.
mhm.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, Pablo, what do you think? Do you who's your contenders in the East? Would you say is it that same team but a different order
um,
as far as like
so definitely the Knicks. Definitely the Knicks for me. Definitely in no order. Like right now, there's no order. Right. Definitely the
Mhm.
Knicks, the Magic. Um, I really like the Cavs, of course. My favorite player right now is Spider Mitchell. Um, Let me see. The Pacers. Well, no, not the Pacers. Damn, the Pistons. Yeah, the Knicks, Cavs, Pistons, Magic, and I'm a little biased, so I'm going the Nets too. I'm a little biased. I'm
you
going
know what's
for
crazy? You talk about the Nets. I actually was thinking the other day, like maybe the Raptors could make a push for like one of those bottom seeds.
Like at AFC.
Yeah, like a 7th or 8th seed. I think they have the roster to do it. And Celtics and Pacers being out of it. I think they have a legit chance to try to get
yeah
in
with
there.
the with the Bucks. I mean with the Celtics, Pacers, and the other teams.
The
The
Bucks are
other
going to
the
the playoffs.
huh?
I said the Bucks are going to the playoffs. They still have Giannis on there. They shouldn't miss the
Oh,
playoffs.
oh yeah. That's it. But is he staying on that team now?
By the end of this season, I think unless they go on like some crazy losing streak, I think that's the only way he asks for out.
So you don't think the Lillard trade that we didn't talk about yet? You don't think that
Lillard
trade?
trade.
He
I mean,
got
he
waived.
ain't
He
going
didn't get
nowhere yet.
traded.
I mean, pause,
Yeah,
pause, pause, pause. You're right. You're right. You think the Lillard being waived uh has like lit a fire in Giannis' eyes and like
lit a fire. I think from what I've been hearing, the reports say that he kind of knew that in order for them to bring Miles Turner in, they had to waive Damian Lillard. That's why Damian Lillard was kind of like calling him a snake on
mm,
Twitter or Instagram, I think it
mm,
was. Like he put like the snake emoji. I guess
yeah,
he was
yeah, I
trying to
seen
throw
that.
like a little shade towards Giannis. So I mean, Giannis had to have known that. I don't think that pairing really worked anyway. Like it's gonna go down as like what if they never finished the series healthy together. It's
Right.
unfortunate, but Hey, I mean, the
Yeah,
grass is
yeah.
not
I mean, the truth
greener
is
on
they
the
were
other
never
side, I
really
guess.
able to do anything like really great.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
it's unfortunate. Oh, before we move on to the Western Conference, my dark horse in the East, right? So we
Mm.
mentioned New York, Cleveland, Orlando, Detroit. If this is a big if right here, if Embiid is healthy,
Mm.
if Paul
Mm.
George is healthy, if Maxey is healthy, they finish the season healthy all together. Then the rookie
That's
McCain come back. I think Philadelphia has a chance to ruin all of that right there. They can throw a wrench in all of that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, I
I'm on
believe
board.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Same. Same.
that's if they're
Same.
healthy. This would be the only
Same.
year I believe Philly could actually come out the East now because if these other teams get healthy again, forget about it. Like Embiid, like he's never healthy, and Philadelphia just always seems to crumble in the second round.
Hmm.
As the series gets like more important, they just seem to always flop and not live up to expectations.
Right.
And but with it being depleted right now, I think this is the year that one of those teams we've never seen in the finals yet have to make it to the NBA finals. And I
Mm.
think the Philadelphia 76ers have the talent and the coach to make some noise in the Eastern Conference this year.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I can get behind you on that.
Yeah. Same.
All right. So let's move on to the Western Conference. All right. So who are
Um.
we picking to come out of the West?
Um. I
Rockets are
go
probably
first.
going to be a top five
I'll
team.
let I, I'll let you go first on that one, Pablo.
All right. So for me, and we talked about this earlier. We kind of talked about this earlier. I brought it up actually. This is a question that I actually brought up. So for me, it's the Rockets. Um, number one. This is my order. and we could and we could argue this, whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
But
argue it. I'm gonna argue it.
my huh?
I'm gonna argue it. Go ahead.
If it's one thing K Dub gonna do is argue. You know what
So I got the
I mean?
Rockets, and then I have OKC, um, and then I probably have the Nuggets right there, or the Clippers. You know what? I probably have the Clippers before the Nuggets, and then from there I
Whoa,
will
whoa,
go,
whoa. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
huh?
ahead. Go ahead. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Clint, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, bro. You shitting me?
No, no, they're not better than the Denver Nuggets. No, they're not.
What?
Stop it right now. They're not. They're not. They're not.
Okay,
They're
wait,
not.
wait, but let him finish. Let him finish. Just do top five seed, and then you know what I mean, and we'll go from
So
there.
Rock, OKC, Clippers, Nuggets,
Your audio's
and
kind
then
of cutting out, brother.
oh
Yeah, you might
shit,
have
I
to
ain't
stop
got
moving
to
the camera and just place it like in one spot,
shit.
like you had it before.
Yo, yo,
Okay.
we all here?
Yo, yeah, I'm
All right,
here.
all right, cool. You said Rockets.
Rockets, Rockets, OKC, Clippers, Nuggets, and for me, ooh, I probably go. I probably go Warriors or the Mavericks.
Okay. I and who ultimately who do you have coming all the way out of the West going to the finals? Just a
The
prediction.
Rockets. The Rockets.
The Rockets are going to the finals this year.
Rockets going to the finals.
Okay, okay, it is fair. K Dub, any rebuttals?
Okay. First, the Clippers, they play hard, they're resilient, but we need to stop this. We need to stop this. There's no way that you think the Clippers are going to have a better season than the Denver Nuggets. Was that in order what you said, or that's just like you naming teams that's going to be in the playoffs?
Huh?
Are you naming teams that you think is going to be in the Western Conference playoffs, or do you Are you
Yeah.
saying that they're gonna have a better season than the Denver
No.
Nuggets?
No. I'm listing teams that should be in the playoffs.
Okay, all right.
Should be.
So
Should be. Bearing.
why didn't
Bearing.
I hear Lakers in there? Where
Oh,
was the Grizzlies at?
because okay, for
Just some
one,
top five though. I said just put some top five. There's really
Top
eight
five?
teams. Yeah, just the top five.
I mean,
yeah, it was top five. It was top
I
five.
did say top
oh, I mean
five.
the last segment. I mean, you didn't ask top five about the East. I think you just asked like who are going to be like the teams in the East to watch out for.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
So,
top five in the West. If that's
well,
the
go
route
ahead.
you want
Do
to go.
okay. So go back to Pop. Let him do all eight then. So who's your next three?
Wait, so let me go back. Let me go all the way back.
Pick
Name
an
the eight
eight.
teams you think is going to make the Western Conference
Let me go all
playoffs.
the way back. So I have the Rockets, OKC, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Warriors, and the Mavericks. Right? That's how much? That's eight, right there.
That sounds like six right
Six.
there. That sounded like six you just
Okay.
said.
Okay,
Like
one
five or
more time. You
six.
said Rockets.
Rockets,
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh.
OKC,
OKC,
the Clippers,
Clippers,
the Denver Nuggets,
Nuggets,
and then I have the Warriors.
Warriors.
Matter of fact. Let me take that back.
That's five.
Let me take the Warriors back. Let me take the Warriors back. I had the Timberwolves.
Okay.
Timberwolves.
Take the Warriors back.
Hold up.
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
Okay.
Timberwolves. And then and then okay, that's how many is that so far? Six?
That's six. Yeah.
Okay. And then from there I'll go the Lakers.
Okay.
And then for my eighth team, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Memphis. The Grizzlies.
Okay. Memphis. It seems like you're putting them in order though. Is this your order? First seed to eighth?
Probably.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be order. He just named eight
I'm
teams
just
he
naming
believes
them,
is going to make the
but it
playoffs.
could be though. It could
Okay.
be in order though.
I mean, it just felt like he was putting them in order. You know what I mean?
All right. So should I go now? Do you want to say you want to add to
No,
that, Julian?
no. You go ahead. I want to write this down. I'm writing it down the list so we can review it when everything is said and done.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Okay, wait. Tell me your top eight real quick.
my top eight. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we ain't just gonna act like the Lakers wasn't the third seed last year, and they actually
Yeah.
added a big man that they needed.
You're
You're
right.
right.
They
You're
did get a
right.
piece.
No, you're right.
They did get a
Yeah.
piece.
You're right.
All right. So these are the teams I think is gonna be in the playoffs next year in the
Is this in
Western
order or
Conference.
just naming eight?
I'm just naming eight.
Okay.
OKC,
Okay. Okay. See.
Houston,
Houston,
Lakers,
Lakers,
Nuggets,
Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets. I mean, Warriors. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Warriors,
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
All right. So we had six. I'm gonna say because James Harden has never missed the playoffs. I'm gonna say Clippers.
Okay. Clippers.
All right. So we had seven. Now the last team I'm going to. Whoo, last team in the West. San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a pick. That's a good
It
pick.
is.
Besides the Spurs, you guys have the same exact list.
Wait, I didn't say Dallas.
No,
You didn't say
me
Memphis
neither.
either.
Yeah,
And
it
I
came
just
at
called
me,
him out for
bro.
not saying
It came at
Memphis.
me from
Yeah, and
Memphis.
you called him out for not saying Memphis.
You know what's crazy? At some point, I might have to redo that.
I mean,
All right, hold on.
me too. Me too, though, because I didn't.
We'll keep it for now. We'll keep it for now. We'll edit it when we need to.
All right, wait. I said San Antonio. All right, I might have to go sour on them and take that back. That's a wait and see for me. It's out of San Antonio, Dallas. I think gets that last spot in the playoffs.
If
I don't
Dallas is
think.
healthy,
Yeah, I don't think the. I think the
That's why I had
Grizzlies.
Dallas at first because when they're healthy, AD and Kyrie, bro, AD and Kyrie,
Yeah,
Lively,
but Kyrie's not coming back till January.
damn,
So how many games?
damn,
Let's just say Cooper Flag and Anthony Davis have to go through the first 40 games together. A guy who's never played in the NBA
yeah,
yet, and a guy who's injury prone, and they label him as Mr. Glass. Let's
right?
say he
And Klay
gets
Thompson,
yeah, and Klay Thompson with his inconsistent shooting
true.
self.
right? We're
Um,
looking at a version of Klay Thompson that is not the Klay Thompson we all know and love.
Right,
right.
true.
But they're deep. They got the two bigs along with Anthony Davis. But let's just say they got to play the first 40 games without Kyrie Irving and Cooper Flag and
That's
AD.
where D Russell comes
Do
in.
you think they're gonna be able to stay in the
That where
standings?
It depends how well AD plays.
and D
That's where I
Russell and
stand
D
on it.
Russell too.
And
D'Angelo
D'Lo,
Russell.
they did get D'Lo.
Okay, D'Lo.
They did get D'Lo.
I think that's a work in progress. I don't
But
know. It's tough. I
And
think
didn't
it's
they
out of
sign?
San
Didn't they
Antonio.
sign spend the Dinwiddie or no?
No, he's in
Oh,
Charlotte.
okay. So who's their backup?
I think it's
Who's their shooting guard? Oh, Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Max Christie, Jaden Hardy is still there. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, Anthony Davis. That's like they front court really. I think the White Powell is
So
still on that
so so
team.
D
yeah, he
so
is.
D'Lo is their point guard,
He's the starting point guard till Kyrie returns.
and Klay is the starting shooting guard. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And Cooper Flag is supposed to be one of the best players on that team
So
sooner
is
than
that
expected
so
because of
let me ask
Kyrie
that is
not
let me
being
ask that
active.
is that too much pressure on Cooper Flag to put on him?
No, I mean pressure. He's the number one pick. It comes with
Yeah.
pressure anyway. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
the moment he was selected number one, the pressure was already
Right.
on.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I believe it's out of San Antonio or Dallas that might get that last spot. The Grizzlies. Now that I'm thinking about it, they actually might just not even make the playoffs.
Mm.
John Morant can't stay healthy. Jaren Jackson Jr. He no longer has Bane next to him. Scottie Pippen Jr. He did improve a lot last season.
Right.
I don't know. I think that team just lost a lot of depth,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think looking at it now, I think they might be out of it.
Okay. So overall, our list is even.
Yeah, it's
It's the
even, but
same.
I
You have
think
Memphis. He doesn't have Memphis.
I don't. Yeah, I don't have Memphis no longer.
I,
I have
I
the
only have Memphis.
Timberwolves.
I only have Memphis because I'm banking on John Morant being healthy.
So wait, read my eight again, Julian, if you can.
You put OKC, Houston, Lakers, Nuggets, Warriors, Wolves, Clippers, and then for the last one, I put Dallas or Spurs. I put an asterisk next to it.
And read mine
Okay.
again.
Yeah, and yours is Rockets, OKC, Clippers, Nuggets, Wolves, Lakers, Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah.
One,
So he got
two, three,
Memphis.
four, five. That's only seven though.
Oh, I don't have 8.
So
Two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, that's only
All right. So
seven.
let me.
One,
he didn't say Lakers,
I
right?
did.
five, six, seven.
Oh, he did. Okay.
I did.
No, you got Rockets, OKC, Clippers, Nuggets, Wolves, Lakers, Memphis.
So that's his eight.
7.
That's seven.
That's seven.
So
Yeah. Houston, Lakers. No. Oh, he took the Warriors off. That's what it was.
let me.
The
You
Warriors.
could
Oh,
you could
what's up with that?
nah I wouldn't because nah you know what crazy I had them more because of Steph Curry and Draymond Green in them, and then they just sign somebody a key player. Uh
They're trying to get Al
right
Horford.
which is
They're trying to
so
get him.
so he's not signed there yet. He's not signed there yet.
No,
But
no.
regardless, I think yeah for my list you could put the Warriors on there.
Okay.
I'll put the Warriors on there. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and let's do one final prediction before we end the episode. Let's do one final prediction, finals matchup. K Dub, who do you think?
Okay.
All right, the NBA Finals,
Just yeah,
2026 NBA Finals.
Okay.
just two teams. That's it.
Okay.
It's been 7 different champions in the last 7 years.
I already got mine on lock.
I think I think the New York
Mhm.
Knicks
Mhm.
are gonna go to the NBA
Mhm.
Finals
Against.
against. Who? I don't. I
Mhm.
mean, it's tough, bro. It's the Wild Wild West. It's
It
tough.
is.
It definitely
It is.
is. I'll go first if it helps. I think the Knicks are gonna play either the Nuggets or Oklahoma
Mm.
in the
The
finals.
Nuggets.
So you don't think the Houston Rockets are going to the finals?
I don't think they're going to the finals. I think they're going to be a very good team. They might go to like second round conference finals around there,
Okay.
but I don't think they're going to the finals just yet. We got to understand, as good as these players are, it's their first time
It
playing together.
is.
For some of
It
them,
is.
you know what I
Right.
mean. For a lot of players who had demanded the ball last season, a lot of that is not the same because they now have Kevin Durant. So I definitely think there's going to be some adjustments to made. This might be a learning curve for Houston, but I don't think they're going to the finals first
But the
year.
shot chuckers are off that team. Besides
They
Van Vliet, he's
they
the only
are
one that's
just
willing to
just
shoot the
playing
ball.
together in general. It's definitely
It
different.
is.
It's a lot of star power on their team. You know, a lot of veterans, a lot of people who think they deserve the ball. So I think they definitely are going to take a year and figure it out. I think it'll be pretty good basketball, and I think when they come back next year, they'll be pretty dangerous.
A lot
But
of
my pick
veterans
for
that
the
deserve the ball.
finals, I got the New York Knicks playing either OKC or the Nuggets.
Okay. Okay. For for
Okay.
me, for me, for me, I got the New York. I got the New York Knicks versus the Houston Rockets. If not,
Yo,
if
I'm a,
not, then I got New York Knicks versus OKC.
I'm gonna be honest. I know Houston made all those moves and everything. I still I still can't wrap my head around them like just automatically being picked to go to the finals. I know that's your prediction and all, but I think Kevin Durant, he still has like room to grow. He still has to grow as a leader of a
Yeah,
team and
Yeah,
holding
I
guys
agree.
accountable.
But I think that's what their goal was in signing guys like Clint Capella and Steven Adams, who have like
leadership.
been around for a while. They got some other veterans so that it's not so much pressure on just him to be a leader. He can let the other veteran guys do that as well. Although they're not going to lead through their play as much as KD will. He'll be like that leader, that captain like Steph Curry, who's leading through his play, as to where Draymond was really that vocal leader.
Hmm.
Can Kevin Durant still even and do that these days? Can he still lead his play? Can he lead with his play alone? Can his play get you through 3 rounds in the Western Conference? I don't know. I have doubts.
Excuse me. I think it depends. It depends how long those rounds are. You know what I mean? Pause. But it depends.
The
It depends how long those playoffs are. If it
first
doesn't
pause
go
of
to
the
seven
night.
games each
The
time, you
first
know
pause of
what
the
I
night. The first pause. We went the
mean?
whole hour, 8 minutes without a pause.
I slipped up, yeah, I slipped up.
I don't even think you had to say pause in there. We
I don't
understood.
know. Those rounds are long. It's crazy. But anyway,
We understood, but I don't know. The Houston Rockets they have that defensive identity with Ime Udoka. He gives them that defensive identity, his coaching style. I don't know. It remains to be seen if they can beat the Nuggets or Oklahoma City. And you know,
I think
I feel like those are only 2 teams that should be able to beat them. And depending on how the Lakers
I
look
think
too.
I think
yeah,
I think the addition of KD and the pieces that he has around him alleviates any pressure of uh alleviates any pressure like having to play every game or score at a high clip every game.
Wait. You don't think he has to score at a high clip with this team?
No.
How many other guys on here can score the ball really?
Oh, but
I mean, we saw in the
no.
playoffs they couldn't put the ball in the basket. Where was the offensive consistency against Golden State?
So, well, you're right.
Jalen Green had a 38-point game. He
You're right.
disappeared. Shingun, he was the only one that looked like he brought it, but even his scoring output wasn't enough to win the series in
But I
seven.
think what I'm trying to get at is like he doesn't have to put so much pressure on himself and like play every game at a high at like play well. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is because he's been injury prone as of late, it's like he doesn't have to play so much because of the depth, the depth, depth, whatever.
Okay.
So I think that's for me that's important because KD is like he's almost I don't if I he's obviously not retiring now, but he's on the cusp of retirement. Like he's father time is undefeated. So I think for him, it's important that he doesn't have to play as much, or he could play he could play his minutes and in spurts, so that he doesn't like get injured or like put so much pressure on his Achilles, his ankles, his legs, et cetera. But because that's been the main uh, source of his injuries. So that's what I'm thinking as far as the team and the depth in KD and his career from now on.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely remains to be seen what is going to happen this season.
Mhm.
But let's get some final predictions so we can kind of
Yeah,
end this episode. So, K Dub, who you final prediction? You got to give me something. You got the Knicks coming out the East. Who we got coming out the West?
Man, is there a world where, damn, that LeBron situation? I'm gonna say the trend continues. We'll see it in eight. We'll see eight different champions.
In 8 years?
Yeah, I think the trend continues, and I think the New York Knicks are gonna be facing a. I think the New York Knicks are gonna be facing the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, for sure. I got the Nuggets or OKC. Those are two of my picks. Pop, what's your final
then of
pick?
course I got the Knicks versus OKC, or the Knicks versus the Rockets.
Okay. You guys heard it here. This has been Mike and Loaded. Listen, if you guys have any topics that you guys want us to talk about, send them to us, comment on the video, and we'll definitely try and incorporate those, whether it's sports or whatever it is that you guys want to hear us talk about. Let us know. And yeah, and we're definitely going to upload as much as we can, so you're going to see us quite a bit. This has been Mike the Loaded. I'm Jew. That's K Dub. That's King Pop. And this has been great,
Yes,
y'all.
sir. Yeah.